What's up? Welcome back. I'm John Stark from MacMovieGuy.com. If you're a blind film critic, and today we're recapping Peacemaker, Season 2, Episode 3. So what season are we in? John Cena is back in fine form this season as Peacemaker. And I like the fact that the more work that he gives, the better performances he gives too. The more like work he gets, because he's also shaping up to be a better actor just through doing it. If you go back and look at like some of his earlier stuff, like 12 Rounds, um, it's okay. But here he's actually sort of starting to have some good comedic timing. He's got really a couple nice beats that he has with hardcore in here. So yeah, it was nice. So most of this episode, and when's the last we left Peacemaker, he was kind of drunk texting hardcore, but he was doing the other version of her because he just sort of had a fight with his version. So he goes into the everything is awesome world. Everything is awesome. Uh and passes out there. His brother wakes him up, and he's like, "Bro, what's up?" He's like, "Oh, drank a lot." His brother's concerned for him, and this version of Chris, this Chris has no idea what the other version of Chris was like, and like history or backstory or anything. He can't tell anybody, who he is really, because yeah, I'm the other Peacemaker. And by the way, I killed your Peacemaker, chopped up his body, and set it on fire. Like, that is not going to fly. So he has to tread lightly with caution. But he ends up getting a text back from Hardcore, and he said, Can we meet? Can we talk? So he goes to Argus headquarters where Hardcore works, and this version of Hardcore is very different. She's not as angry at the world. She's just like a chill woman, just like a nice chill lady, just who's had her heart broken in the past. And she's not angry. She doesn't seem like she drinks a lot. She just seems like a regular girl, and who also happens to work for Argus. She doesn't even seem like she. I wasn't even reading like this girl has inherently awesome fighting skills. Like, if you were just meeting her at first, you'd be like, well, I could see her being an agent, but I don't know that she could beat the shit out of a bar room full of guys. Uh, so, yeah, Peacemaker goes in and he sees that in this timeline, Rick Flag Jr. is still alive and is dating sort of hardcore, uh, because of whatever past that, you know, dead Peacemaker uh, allowed to have happen, and apparently he was still a douche in his timeline. Like, he was still very full on himself, and uh, he picks up on those vibes. So he's learned a lot, and he's been trying to change a lot from his own world and his own universe and the way that he's viewed over there. So he's bringing a lot of that here, and he's a more sensitive Peacemaker, which fits with the whole hero persona. Since in this world, Peacemaker is seen as being a hero, and people just like recognize him on the street. They're like, "Yeah, Peacemaker, you're awesome." Um, and he's given an opportunity to save the day yet again when a group of terrorists take over this building. They take over like a DMV, and they try to build a bomb in it, and so Peacemaker, without his gear, goes up, and it, he goes in from the roof. He climbs into a building next door, and then he jumps across roof to roof, and then crashes in through the top. And he comes through, and he like murders all of them in like the most bloody, wonderful ways possible. Like, it is so gory, and some of those kill sequences were like, but lovely. I loved it. It was great. Um, yeah, he murdered all of them. This little like terrorist cell was gonna have like a helicopter that swung by and picked them up. The helicopter just gives up and goes away. It's like, I don't know. Never mind. We're, they they missed their window. And then Chris just walks out and he's like, "Yup, I did it. Save the day." He even defuses the bomb. I mean, he does it just by, like, ripping out random wires, but he does eventually rip out the right wire, and it doesn't blow up, and he's like, "Oh, yeah, great." So, and then his version of Hardcore, who he had been talking to and was they were talking about whether or not they should be in a relationship and, is there any way that Hardcore could ever forgive him? And Hardcore's like, I want you to really think about it because I don't want to have my heart broken a second time. And he's like, okay, I'll think about it. And he does have this really like kick-ass motorcycle that's got like missile launchers and stuff on it. Um, so that's sort of this world's Chris. And then in the other world, we do see the team after they partied. We do check in on them, and they all kind of wake up with hangovers, basically, most of them anyway. And then they're still doing jokes with Adrian and how he's a fan of something, and he wants people to ask him like random facts about like spiders, and he's like, "I'm really into spiders. Ask me if I know anything about spiders. Ask me about spiders. Anything you want to know." And he has like crows. He says that crows can take a paper clip, and he says crows are the only birds that use tools, and that they can take a paper clip and they can undo it and stab another crow with it. it's, it's so random. Um, so luckily Tim Meadows survived the last episode, so he's back and he's trying to blame everything on uh, God, what's his name? Um, and by saying that he took advantage of his bird blindness and told him that it was a duck and not an eagle, which of course we saw in the episode. No, he didn't do that. Um, and it's just Tim Meadows' character is so stupid in this, but it's so hilarious. I love it. But he's so stupid, and it's so weird that nobody else picks up on that. It's amazing that he has a boss that doesn't just look at Tim Meadows' character and go, "Wait, why am I putting you in charge of everything?" I would feel that all the time. I'd be like, why? Why? It's so like I can understand maybe why he's here because he's sort of comically. It's so weird that he's ever in charge of anything though, because he's clearly really bad at it. So they now have a plot to kill Eagly because they have to. So they have an eagle hunter played by Michael Rooker that has joined the cast, and they're off to kill Eagly, to hunt Eagly down. Um, so we'll see if that happens, and whether or not Chris will be there for that, and what Chris is going to do about Eagly. So I don't know. Will they kill Eagly off? I don't know. Um, so yeah, we'll see what happens. But that's basically Peacemaker for the week. Couple of interesting cameos, obviously. Well, not really cameos, but mostly. I mean, Michael Rooker doesn't really do much here, but of course he'll work with James Gunn. And the reappearance of Rick Flag Jr. So a couple interesting things that happen, but mainly the centerpiece of this is the sequence where Peacemaker goes through the DMV and takes out the entire terrorist organization. I mean, there's at least like 10 people. There was a pretty good amount of people in there, and he like slowly just takes them all out. He works like he's a killer in a horror movie, taking them out like one by one. So, yeah, I enjoyed this episode of Peacemaker. I'm not. I would put Peacemaker right now between like a 9 and 9.5. I think that's where I'm landing for this. Eventually, when I do my tomato meter for the season, so that's where we're hovering, and that's the episode. I'll be back next week with another recap. Until then, click subscribe so you can be here for it. And I love you, and I'll see you guys on the other side.